So there's a few new faces. Yesterday we talked about charcoal for quite a while. We had a number of questions, and so we didn't quite finish through where I would like to have gone, but that's all right. Maybe before we do that, George, can I have you raise that screen, and then we'll lower it again? We're going to offer some charcoal products after the program, and I just want to let you know what we did bring, and then if you are interested, there'll be somebody down there to help you. Right now the tables are covered with tablecloths, but we have a number of things that may be of interest to you. What Leanne has been demonstrating up here was making the charcoal poultices, and she's making it with the hardwood activated charcoal, and that's in the green label. So when you see a green label, either in a pint or a quart jar, that's what she's been demonstrating with. And then she also gave some of you, a charcoal drink. How many had a charcoal drink yesterday? Michael, you had one. You had one. Okay. So some of you had a charcoal drink, and it's made from bamboo. It's what we refer to as a hospital grade. It's been USP stamped. I'm not sure that stamps make much difference, but it is what we sell into hospitals. And it also comes in a pint jar and a quart jar. Then I think Leanne used one of these charcoal sticks on somebody. Did you use a charcoal stick on somebody?
Yeah, she did on me.
Mary.
Okay.
She put it on again today, too.
Okay. So it's very handy. My wife came up with this idea, and it's not really a lipstick, but if you want to look really goth, if you want to look goth, go for it. But it could be used for people who have acne around their lips, cold sores. It works really well for that. But otherwise, it's poison ivy, poisonous insects. I wouldn't use it on snake bites, but poison ivy, poison oak, sumac, acne, some skin inflammations, even shingles. It'll work on shingles. But what color is this stuff?
Black.
Black. And so be reminded, be warned that it's going to get on something that's white for sure, and then you're going to wish you had covered it somehow. But it works really well. We were in church, and a mother came up to us and said, my young son just got bit by a wasp, and he's starting to have respiratory problems. We think we need to take him to emergency right away. So Kimberly said, well, I don't think so. So she went down and she got a charcoal tablet, I believe, and she wet it, and she put it on the bite site, covered it with a bandage, and said a prayer, and within a few minutes his breathing was back to normal. So again, if you had an EpiPen and you were used to using that, that's probably what you'd reach for. But if you didn't, or you met somebody who's having a reaction, using charcoal, either the stick or something even smaller like a tablet, works amazingly quickly. I mean, sometimes I think that's way too fast for it to work, but we have so many stories of people using it. So there's lots of these down there. Kimberly says a lot of people buy them for gifts or whatever, put it in a gift package. But it's good to have it on you, right? It's no good if it's sitting on a shelf, so that's why if you put it in your purse or your glove compartment, it's with you, going backpacking or climbing or something like that, fishing. That thing should be in every Bass Pro store in America. It really works. I'm always amazed at how well it works. Next to that, we have an iPad. We could actually, we might demonstrate this one. Anyway, it looks just like something that you put on to go to sleep at night, over your eyes, only it's filled with granular charcoal, coconut granular charcoal. And you can moisten it, or use moist or hot water, or you can steam it lightly for a few minutes, not too hot, and put it on your eyes. If you're in front of a computer a lot, your eyes will feel much better. I don't know how it works. I just know, once again, it's working. And I think I told a story. Did I tell a story about pink eye in Papua New Guinea? and the whole village had it. So this is just a convenience, right? Then you have some charcoal toothpaste. Everybody brushes with charcoal toothpaste now, right? We're probably the ones who supply the ingredients to the company. So we approached Tom's a number of years ago. Nah, we're not interested in charcoal. Now everybody's got to have it, right? So we supplied to Colgate for a while, but that one's mint flavored, and this one's for kids, and it's cherry flavored. They're organic, all ingredients, and organic flavoring as well. Say that again.
Mason loves it.
Yeah, the kids really do like it, and of course we don't say anything about the adults. They like it, but they're not going to tell you that. Charcoal soap. We have one gentleman who buys a dozen at a time because it's the only thing he can bathe with. He's very hypersensitive, and so he likes the charcoal soap because it's hypoallergenic. And of course, when you use it, what you see this black stuff go down the drain, right? You think, boy, I must have been really dirty. But it's the charcoal, so don't worry. Leanne's going to be demonstrating some charcoal poultices again, and you are going to help her, and then she's going to direct you to do it. And we're following the recipe in here. Now, of course, if you don't use this recipe, it's not going to work. Is that true?
No.
No, that's not true. We've just made it something standard. It's easier when we're at large groups where we're doing a lot of poultices, and we're just trying to avoid that never-ending question, well, how much of this and how much of that? So this is the recipe that we're following. And over here, if you don't get a brochure up here, there's a bunch of them down below, and this is a protocol that Kimberly came up for a detox program. And this is, if you don't follow this one, it's not going to work, right? It will work. It will work. She developed part of this from what's the guy's name? Anyway, he's from Norway, Sweden, someplace, and he'd work with a lot of people who have gastrointestinal problems, and he found allergic reactions, and he found that his regime worked pretty good, but it seemed to me it was overkill. I thought, this is overkill, but Kimberly didn't think it was overkill, so she added more. Activated capsules, very handy to have. This is probably the biggest seller. I think that when I went online to check the market right now, is somewhere like $2.8 billion of charcoal capsules, and it's only increasing. But this is made out of coconut coal, charcoal, and because there's a dramatic dip in the availability of coconut activated charcoal, I'm only expecting that these are going to go up dramatically. If you want to purchase those down there, there is no sales tax, and of course you're not paying for shipping, but if you get home, there's some price sheets down there for you. We're offering it at 10% off the normal price, and if you can't have today, and you want to purchase it over the phone or whatever, just call us in and mention that you were at this program.
Shelf life.
Shelf life?
Yeah.
Indefinitely.
I like that.
And you had a question? Somebody had a question?
Yes, yes. Are those good for the septic when you brush your teeth and you use the soap? Is that good for the septic tank? Septic tank?
Can it hurt the septic tank?
Oh, that's what you're driving at. No. Probably help the septic tank. Won't be pumping out so much. We actually sell charcoal commercially for that application, is to control septic gases. So, and these are large applications. And then, one of the tricks of getting kids started is to make it interesting. And so we have tablets for kids, and we have a monkey on it. And on our website, we actually have a monkey eating charcoal. And I'm going to show you another picture here. Once they start getting used to this, forever after, they usually will say, "Can I have a charcoal tablet?" And I have pictures of our oldest son when he was just a baby, and he's got charcoal lips and charcoal teeth, and he thought they were candy. He'd never tasted a candy, and we just say candy. So he was raised on charcoal candy. And then it's the same exact tablet, just marketed as adult, okay? Now, people who have abscessed teeth or sore teeth, sore gums, I just say take a couple, maybe 6 of these and put them inside your cheek when you go to bed at night and hold them there. And hopefully you have black pillowcases. I drool a lot, not just at night, unfortunately, but I drool. And so I have zebra pillowcases in the morning, because I roll around at night. So you've been warned, but it works. I've had 2 root canals, and the dentist is absolutely amazed that they have lasted so long with no complaints. When I get the first sensation of, it's a little sore today, that night, in they go. Or if I wake up in the night, in they go. And I just leave them there. And most of the time, my pillowcases survive okay. These charcoal first pain patches I mentioned to you that was first developed by a couple brothers in South Korea, and they developed this, they call it pain patch. The FDA was not referring to the Federal Drug Administration. It was something in Korea, and they labeled it FDA approved. And so we had to change the labels, but it really works. It works on pain. We have one lady comes in regularly during the week, and she'll purchase a dozen at a time. I keep saying, well, would you like me to teach you how to make a poultice? I'm not interested. She said, I'm not. Why would I want a charcoal poultice? These work. And she just purchases a dozen at a time. Inside the package, there's 5 of them. You can cut them into smaller pieces if you want to. A few years back, I wrote this book, and that's what changed our life. CharcoalRemedies.com. We have a bunch of them down there. And there's a few in Spanish for anybody who wants a Spanish version. And I really do, not just because it's my book, but I really do recommend that you get it. You'll notice the title is CharcoalRemedies.com. If you are somewhere and you go online, you can open up the home page, and there's all kinds of resources there for you, pictures and testimonies and stories and research that we have gathered since we published this book. So it's been, it's sort of a foundation to research, but my wife likes to say it's a good read because there's a lot of stories in there, people's stories, and that's what most people we find are interested in. You can listen to all the science, and it gets kind of in history, and it gets a little boring, but people's testimonies, that really captures people's imagination. Last, maybe. I had mentioned this book was very influential for me as a brand new Christian. A doctor gave it to me, and it's traveled with, not this one, but it's traveled with me literally around the world, putting on programs like this to small groups, large groups, and we've made some available for you if you want some. I think that's it. There are a few.
The children's series of books.
Thank you. Here they are, right in front of me. I decided that this is great for adults, but we need something for children. And I read a statement somewhere where that one of the first things that children should be taught is physiology and anatomy. So I came up with the idea GodMadeMe.com. And we put together this set of 3 books. The one in the middle is the one that should be on the front, and it's for the children, 6 to 12. And it basically teaches the children physiology and anatomy from the Bible. And it's built off chapter 1 in Genesis, So it goes through the days of the week and applies it to the body. We've used it in different programs. Overseas, we've used them as a supplement to the evangelistic series. So while we have something going on, we have something going on for the children. And so they always want to learn English, so it works really good in foreign countries. You offer it to them in English, and the kids, or the parents, definitely want them to go to it because they're going to learn some English, right? Works. And the activity book is all kinds of simple things like charcoal poultices, hot foot baths, heating compresses, some of the things that we're going to show you today, how to use aloe vera gel and pick different herbs, just very simple treatments that the kids can learn. And when we did it in, where were we? We did it in Kenya. It was in Uganda. They gathered a whole bunch of churches. I think they had 500 to 600 kids doing what we're doing, just working through that booklet for 5 days, and it went extremely well. I didn't actually see it because I was with the nursing students at the hospital, but they said it went really well, and they finally came up on a Sabbath afternoon and did the whole program in the afternoon for the church, and it was a huge church at this college. So it works really well. We've done a couple summer Bible schools with them.
There's 3 books in that.
And there's 3 books in that set, and I don't know what the prices are. You'll have to see them when you get down there. But they work really good for a Sabbath school, summer class. One school that we're really involved with in Uganda, I think they have 500 or 600 students. It's a grade school. And it went over so well that the government school purchased them to use in the public school. And then the Catholic Church and all the other churches started using them as well for Sunday school classes. So it doesn't get into Sabbath except the 7th day was the day God rested, and that we leave it there. But there's resources, and this is the main resource. So if people want to go a little bit further, this is one of the resources that we use, but otherwise it's all the Bible. It's just Bible. Can we lower that screen? Yes.
I wanted to go back to the charcoal pack that you were suggesting for...
The capsules?
For anaphylaxis.
Oh, you want to go back to that slide?
No, the product.
Well, you were suggesting that someone had
Oh.
the little red packages you said.
I got you now for,
I've got an extensive background in emergency medicine, and so you said something like if someone was having a reaction.
yeah,
So
what happened was a child got bitten in church with a wasp or bumblebee. We didn't have these, but we had a bottle of tablets that's on the table. And my wife, looking around, what am I going to do? She had some tablets. So all she did was wet it. It's not going to work dry. It has to be wet. The charcoal has to be wet. If it's not wet, it will work. I'm not going to say it's not going to work, but it doesn't work as well. If there's that moisture, it has a better drawing effect. So she wet it, and then she put a large bandage over it. And that was it.
Okay, I wanted to make sure because respiratory could be compromised. I think
Yes.
I saw that, so I was a little concerned.
Well,
People didn't have a medical background, how to specifically use that.
right. Well, it's an anaphylactic reaction can be very
I
obviously.
didn't catch that you had put a topical. I was like, whoa. So, okay.
Well, if you read the book, you'll come across peanut allergies. Can a peanut allergen kill somebody?
No.
How fast? Charcoal will neutralize that peanut allergen in 30 seconds, and that's from the top peanut allergist in the world. Went out and said that.
You would have to get them before, things will continue to digest, but you would have to get them.
30 seconds in the lab. 30 seconds.
How are they
And-
using it? They're taking
Huh?
the tablets?
So again, it's people who are going camping. I mean, it just makes good sense to have some with you, and so or have it in your glove compartment. And it's not just going to be for that. That's might be more the rare occasion, but people are going to complain of, I got a sick stomach. I got acid reflux.
Like, let's say I went into anaphylaxis right now, what would you do for me?
I'd grab this and some water and give it to you. And then, you know, to be precaution, we'd probably head to the hospital. We had a kid got bitten by a rattlesnake on his chest. He was 5 years old. We're a long ways from the nearest hospital. What are you going to do? Well, you can call 911 if you want to, but you better get going. And so charcoal. I learned this from a medical doctor. He was out hiking with his son. His son got bitten by a rattlesnake. He put a tourniquet on it, and as soon as they got home, started applying charcoal. And it came up last night. I think you brought it up. That it's, you know, your husband, when he was bitten, you didn't just give him one poultice. I mean, he swelled up, and so you had to be changing these poultices on I would do it every half hour until you're over that crisis period, 24 hours. Well, we've had people bitten by Russell's viper in India. There's no cure for that one. There's nothing. There's no antidote for that, and survive. So if you're not used to charcoal and you haven't had these experiences, I'm with you. I'm very skeptical. I'm very skeptical when people give me these stories, these miracle stories, because sometimes there's a lot more than just charcoal working here, and I think it's prayer. God is waiting to see if we're willing to work with some of His natural remedies, because we're not always within access. I mean, you're up here in the hills, but you're still a little ways to town, aren't you? Unless you happen to be neighbors to a doctor or something. So again, I have a friend, a couple. She is the head nurse in the major hospitals all down the West Coast. Emergency head nurse. And she and her husband were out camping with Josh and Esther. And Josh got bitten by a bumblebee, and he started hyperventilating, and she said, "Get me out of here, get me to a hospital." And he said, No, you're overreacting to this. So he went over to the fire pit, and he got some charcoal, he ground it up, mixed a little water in it, put it on Josh's ear. In 5 minutes he stopped hyperventilating. How long was it going to take to get to a hospital? And he just looked around and jumped out of his head, well, just use charcoal.
As a layperson, I wouldn't apply. As a layperson, just for people out here, I wouldn't apply a tourniquet. I would definitely do charcoal. I would just not move the patient as little as possible until I can eventually get them to a higher level of care. But the person applied the tourniquet says the doctor, correct?
Well, when that one couple got there, when we got the 5-year-old to the hospital, the doctor said, "You don't need me. He's over it."
Okay.
But, you know, it's not something we deal with every day.
No.
So and a parent is panicking, right, or a grandparent, and they should be. They should be thinking, we need to deal with this now, not. So that's why the Kentucky Poison Control Center says every home in was it Kentucky?
Yeah,
It was Kentucky, wasn't it?
and Carolina.
And the Carolina. So have it in your home. Like a fire extinguisher, you hope you never have to use it, but at least it's there, and you can use it in an emergency. Now, we've been talking about people applications. I just want to take a diversion. Did you have a question?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Do they expire?
Okay. The question is it expiring? Expiry date? Is that what you're saying? Well, they've uncovered tombs that are about 2,000 years old, and the charcoal is still active.
Oh boy.
2,000 years. So if you keep it in the dark or in a tightly lidded jar, it should last indefinitely. We had a minister who was in Ireland as a lay worker, and he met a family, and the man of the family had a rare disease. Can't remember the story. And they were able to treat him. He took a bag of charcoal, cooking charcoal, out on the street and drove his car over it several times to crush it, right? Good job, right? Use what you've got. And he crushed that charcoal, and they treated this man for his gastrointestinal issues. I can't remember what they were. Then he shipped back to the States. 20 years that charcoal sat in this bag in his closet until one day he met this man off the street who was limping. And now this has got to be the truth, right? It's this minister. He wouldn't lie. He wouldn't lie. He's not lying. And he had this charcoal in his closet for so long. This man was limping. He says, "What's wrong with you?" He says, "Oh, I broke my big toe." "Oh, you did?" "Oh, it's grief." And he said, "The doctor told me if that infection doesn't clear up, it's coming off. It's just gone on way too long." And so Pastor John gave him charcoal, this 20-year-old charcoal that had been sitting in this bag in a closet, and he made him a poultice or made him a charcoal foot bath. I cannot remember the details, but that next week he walked into his doctor's office and he plunked down some pieces of broken bone on the table. Now Pastor John's not going to make that up, right? So this guy was convinced that charcoal has that tremendous drawing power. That's why they use it industrially, commercially, because it has this huge ability to draw things. Okay, let me take a breath. Okay, I'm out on the farm where I live. This just is a recent story. And this magpie had come up. You don't have magpies, do you hear? No. So this magpie, he would hopping around. I knew he was sick because they don't usually hang around that way. And he couldn't fly, so I was running around catching grasshoppers and throwing them at him. And he'd peck at it, and every once in a while he was able to swallow one. And this went on for 3 days, and he was getting more used to me. And so he came up one day, I was doing some work, and he came up, and he kind of flopped up, and he purposely came to me. There was no question he came to me for something. And I thought, I don't see how I'm going to get charcoal. So I got some water, and I mixed in some charcoal powder, and I don't know if you can follow this or not. This is charcoal and grasshopper soup. And he has suddenly developed a taste for the charcoal water, and he's just drinking it up. And I'm not quite so interested in the grasshopper right now, but it got him started. I don't know what's wrong with this guy, but he's not feeling well. But now he is drinking charcoal water. Yes. Very good, boy. Keep it up. Say hello to everybody. We also have a picture of a buffalo herd foraging on a forest burn for indigestion. We have pictures of elephants blowing the ash off of charcoal in India and eating charcoal. Now this horse got hit by a truck, and the vet said, "We're just going to put it down. Really, it's too much of a project." And the owners this is their pet horse. Of course, you're not going to put your pet horse down. And so what did they do? There you go.
Had him fitted.
So you had him fitted with a charcoal bandage. He's got charcoal on his ear tips and on his head and on his back and his rump. He obviously got rolled a bit. And he doesn't look too well there. But here's 5.5 months later, no sutures. Here is a Doberman who has an open cancer on his one leg. He can't walk. They have to move him about, and they had some charcoal cloth. This is non-sterilized or unsterilized cloth. They wrapped it, and 2 hours later he's able to walk, pain-free. Well, at least not enough pain that it was bothering him that much. And so in 2 hours, and 4 weeks later, he's skinned over. And this is our bandage, AC Advanced Wound Care, but Johnson & Johnson has a comparable product called Actisorb Silver. These wound dressings are not cheap. They're come out of the UK, and but they work. It worked on this severe pressure sore, no heel left, and day 106. They've obviously tried something else before they got to the charcoal. Now this is a colt. This woman contacted us, her favorite animal. A colt had developed something on its neck, and they didn't know what it was until day 4. They decided to shave it. They could see that there was something was happening, and on day 5 it's starting to get worse. They took it to the vet. Here's day 10 on this side. At this point you can look down the windpipe into the chest cavity. They're pretty sure it's a brown recluse spider bite, and again, once again the vet says, I don't know how to deal with this. They gave it antibiotics, not knowing what else to do. And they contacted us. Kimberly said, oh, we can take care of this. See, so sure, one of these days. But anyway, see, we'll overnight it to you. So overnighted it to them. Day 11, they packed the wound. Are they worried about tattooing at this point? I mean, we've talked about the tattooing, potential tattooing effect of charcoal, and they weren't worried. That's day 11. Day 12, day 15. Now there's fistulas have already developed between the wound and out into the other parts of the neck. So it was on the move. Day 17, and again they just packed it. And there's day 17 compared to day 10. That's 7 days. That's day 18. John, this is yesterday, 18. It has closed up. All swelling is completely gone. In talking with 2 different vets, they said it looks like the brown recluse bites they have dealt with. They are very impressed with the progress of the healing. We are feeding him the charcoal, and he is also getting equine elements detox. Day 10, day 19. There is no medication on planet Earth that will do that. Our dog is always into trouble. She's feasted on something that was poisonous. And here she is back up again. She was Trouble. This dog's middle name was Trouble. She ran into a barbed wire fence. We shaved her off, and well, I think it was 20-some stitches or more. And there's day 6 over here in the right-hand corner. That's day 6. She got in trouble again, this time with a skunk. And so she got her favorite charcoal bath. This dog got shot in the head with point blank with a .410. It's a very large dog, bigger than yours. This guy is a monster. And he was a purebred, so they didn't want to lose him. But the vet was able to save its life, pull all the pellets out of its head. It's missing part of it, one ear. And it was starting to respond, and it got Pseudomonas. Anybody know anything about Pseudomonas? It's kind of potent, isn't it? Yeah. So it got this infection from its head all the way down to its rump. And our vet happens to be our neighbor, and she's been very skeptical about us over the years. And so she called us, and now she has a reason, because she saved her horse who had been bitten by a rattlesnake. She saved that horse and then other people's horses. So now she's got a little bit of confidence. She calls us, and Kimberly says, I'll be right down. So she grabs a 2-gallon bucket of this vet detox charcoal and races down there, and they anesthetize the dog because it had become very vicious. It didn't want anybody to touch it. It lost 50 pounds, and the vet instructor in Omaha said, look, just put it down. So she got written approval from the owners to experiment on the animal. They shaved it off, mixed up this charcoal mud, And that looks like a pretty serious case. This looks like a burn case, right? Like this animal's finished. And he's unconscious. This is the day he got it. This is 2 days later. He wants to eat. He's ready to eat whatever it was. Well, we know it was Pseudomonas, but it also affected his desire to eat, right? He didn't want to eat anything. That's 2 days later, and here he is back in his prime. The beautiful dog, only one side of his head is missing most of his ear, right? Scours, we had one of our customers was a cattle ranch, a veal cattle ranch just outside of LA, and they had a PR problem because of all the odor from the diarrhea, not diarrhea, what do you call it in an animal? Well, diarrhea, let's call it diarrhea. And so they were using 200 pounds of charcoal powder a day to control scours, which controlled what? The odor, which controlled the flies, which made very happy neighbors. So it was one of those win-win-win-win situations with charcoal. Here's a report. This one was actually from Okinawa, but they've since done one here in the States, feeding charcoal to livestock. Before I forget, one of our customers owns a very large animal feed business. I won't tell you which one it is. But one of his products, he puts charcoal in the animal feed. Now that's a whole other area that's mushroomed up over the last few years for animals. But this man, he said, John, I got to tell you this story. He says, my father was in a POW camp in Germany during the war. And he came back after the war, and he gathered all the family in, and he said, I'm going to tell you something. If you are ever so unfortunate as to be in a POW camp, find yourself a charcoal stick and keep it with you at all times. He says, he said, it saved my life. You can imagine the food and the sanitation hygiene in a POW camp might not be all that great. And he believed it was the charcoal that saved his life through those experiences. So again, we're giving you such a broad range of stories, but when it comes to you, you're going to be faced with a decision. You've heard what's the word? You heard the philosophy. What's the other word? The school room, but now is really the rubber meets the road, and you're faced with, what am I going to do? Well, I've heard of charcoal, but the hospital's too far away. I don't know what to do. This is an emergency. I got to try something, and just do it. You're not going to complicate the problem, and there's a very good chance that you're going to help it to recover. I went on the internet and to see what because I was at a parking lot looking at vehicles, and the salesman came out, and of course we ended up on charcoal. He said, just last night I watched a new version of Ben-Hur, and Ben-Hur saved the horse using charcoal. I said, you are kidding. No. And I've had people since then come up, oh yeah, I saw charcoal on this movie, and I'm thinking, okay. So here's a series called Heartland. It's actually up in Canada, and this young couple are out camping, and they catch this free-range colt that's got a very bad wound on its neck from a rope somebody had left the noose on the colt, and it got away. But so now it's got this bad, you can't really see it here, but along the neck there's a really bad wound. And I don't know who the scriptwriter is for this thing, but clearly they knew about charcoal, because this is not the only time they used charcoal in this series. They used it for poisoning, and they drenched the animal. So here's the wound, and they went back to their campground. They happened to have some honey, and they ground up some charcoal from the fire pit, and they had some olive oil, I believe. I can't remember exactly what the recipe was, but they had what they had. They used what was there. And here they are making this poultice with honey, charcoal, and The honey would have worked like a binder, and it's keeping it wet, right? And some olive oil, I think. And here they are putting it on the colt's neck, and they wrap it, and while they were there, a couple days later, the infection had gone, and they let it go. Wow, charcoal's made it to big time. You know, it's at Hollywood. Well, we actually sell it to Hollywood, believe it or not. I won't tell you which film it was, but they use it for effects. We also sell charcoal to the New York Police Department for fingerprinting, and on and on and on and on and on. So here is an experiment done in Russia by this famous gerontologist, Froclus, and he showed that this only works for old rats. Don't extrapolate this to people. This is only for old rats, right? They could increase the lifespan by 34% by giving them charcoal powder on a daily basis. These were old laboratory rats that are ready to be sacrificed. So these were not young guys, not young pups. So again, is it on this one? Oh yeah, this one is in, this is actually the University of Paris. They did another one on C60. Anybody heard of C60? It's a super charcoal particle. And they were able to achieve a 90% increase in lifespan. Almost doubled the lifespan of these old rats by giving them this C60 charcoal. You're not going to go out and make C60 charcoal. It's not there. But fragments of C60 molecules are found in common charcoal. Now, is God's arm shortened just because you cannot get our high-grade, American-made, USP-grade charcoal? Is God's arm shortened? Of course not. He's way ahead of us. Anyway, I'm going to leave off there. We're going to raise that screen. We could go on, but we're going to change gears. We introduced you to Leanne and Mason yesterday. We first met in Washington, D.C. at a mega clinic there, out on a pavement. Oh, was it hot? Out on that pavement. And we had hundreds and hundreds of people come. More than at this Asheville clinic, we had lots. Seems like they never stopped. And wore us out, but you were working in the lifestyle department, and we were right with you at the end there with charcoal, and you were teaching lifestyle. As I mentioned before, you know, charcoal is great for lowering triglycerides and cholesterol, but it's not the answer. What's the answer? Lifestyle. You know, what you're eating, what you're drinking, your exercise, and so forth. So that's what Leanne was working with, that group of people, and we were working together back and forth. And we had people being referred to us and so forth. One of the people who came up and watched what you're going to make a charcoal poultice, she was the director for Brown University. Now, Brown University is pretty prestigious.
That's great.
And she is absolutely spellbound. This woman is highly educated. And she is absolutely spellbound as my wife, Kimberly, was doing a charcoal poultice.
Yeah. Yeah, and even then recently we were at Asheville for a clinic, and we have actually someone who came and saw us at charcoal, Miss Holly right here. She was there, and so was Jack. So it was, we've met a lot of people who have been intrigued by lifestyle, and it just goes hand in hand with charcoal.
Really, they have to go together. You know, we can put on this program, and it's just whetting your appetite. But, and we're encouraging you to use natural remedies, not just charcoal. But really, it comes back down to lifestyle. We really want you to follow up, and the doctor and his family have these programs going on a regular basis. And I didn't know about it until now, this retreat, but I really recommend you to come to their programs. And they're having weekly Bible studies too, but they've been discussing maybe they could do a little demonstration here and there amongst the program. And that will work for any one of you. It will work in your home. You can invite somebody to your home to do a charcoal poultice.
Hey, what would you recommend for thyroid?
Okay, the question is, what would you recommend for thyroid? You start.
Okay, well, I think, I would definitely...
High or low?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have
I'm assuming you're meaning low.
I'm actually thyroid for 6 weeks just to see and what it was like, and I couldn't function. I'll be straight up. I couldn't.
Did you replace with anything different? You didn't do anything different?
I just went off this recently, guys, and then I've been on thyroid again for 2 weeks. They took me off one of them. I'm just on one, but I can think straight. I couldn't. I told him my microwave. I forgot that it had a button because my old one we would pull open, and my mind works very quickly. I couldn't remember for 3 hours it had a button.
To push at the bottom to open the
Yeah,
door.
and that's
Yeah.
how much the brain fog at the end of the 6 weeks was. And so I went back on thyroid. It's been about 2.5 weeks, and my mind is working clearly again, and my energy levels are back up, and I'm pre-diabetic, but everything else is great.
Well, I'm not going to go into that question right now. I want to go into our demonstrations, and as we have time at the end, we'll come back and hopefully deal with that.
Yeah.
Okay? If you have some questions, I'm going to ask you to write them down and pass them up to us so that we can have time to digest them and think how we might answer. How did you want to start?
So, well, we can just do charcoal poultices.
Let's start with the charcoal poultice. Who here has never made a charcoal poultice? Raise your hand.
Yeah, so
Okay?
we want
Becky,
you to
come
feel
on.
comfortable today. So basically take a partner and then you're going to switch off. So
Okay,
one's gonna
Dan,
be
you and
making-
Becky, come on up here.
And then one's going to apply it.
Yeah. Come on up. Both of you.
Becky and Dan. And